Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about topic the stakeholder register. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam of PMP in near future. So let's start, friend. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well, so that my new videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, stakeholder is basically a very important knowledge area as defined by PMBOK guide, project management body of knowledge. And stakeholder is basically a person who has a positive or negative interest in a project. He is called as stakeholder. And stakeholder register means, simply you can think of this as a Excel sheet, a Microsoft Excel file, in which you just place the name of the stakeholder, their roles, their expectations, their interests, influence, their contact information, their addresses, email addresses, etc. So basically, friend, whenever we are implementing projects, we have to deal with multiple stakeholders. It is not possible that the project implementation can be done in silos. We have to manage, we have to deal with multiple stakeholders, multiple persons. For example, you have to go at customer side, you have to meet with the CEO, CTO, the functional managers. The customer side you have to deal. Also, being a project manager, you have to deal with internal stakeholders as well, like the function managers, the QA manager, the deployment manager, operation manager, etc. So being a project manager, friend, you have to deal with multiple stakeholders, either they are internal or external. External means those stakeholders which are outside of your organization, like customer, project manager. And internal stakeholders are those which are internal, which are belonging to your own organization. So basically, friend, a stakeholder register means the just think of this as an Excel file in which you mention the identification, assessment and classification of the project stakeholder. Okay, now just take it as an example here at this template. Stakeholder register, you have to mention the project name, then stakeholder name, for example Brian or ABC. Role, he is the client. Then group, internal or external. External means the stakeholder which are beyond or outside your organization. Internal stakeholder means that the stakeholder who belongs to your own organization. Type mean positive, or type could be negative. Positive stakeholders means those stakeholders which want that your project should be completed on time, should be completed successfully, because so that you can get they can get benefits. For example, you are implementing ABC application in any organization, and they are not happy with the manual working in the organization. So stakeholders are positive that if the process become automated, so they can get the benefit from the software application. The stakeholder can be negative as well. Why? Because see, maybe they are not willing to implement the software application because they are thinking that there may be some risk arise to their job security, or if legacy system removed, so their job will be on the stake as well. So they are not willing that the project should be completed on time, so they could be a negative stakeholder. Group means sponsor, functional management, customer side, etc. So grouping is also an category. Influence or interest. Few stakeholder has high interest and interest in high influence and low interest. Few stakeholders has high influence and high interest, so you have to categorize it as well. And then address, contact information like mobile number, email address and their address as well. So the friend, this is a very simple example of a stakeholder register. You can make this stakeholder register in your Microsoft Excel file, Microsoft Word file as well. I would prefer to do it in the Excel, so that you can add more columns as well wherever it is necessary. And also you can another advantage of making the stakeholder register in Excel is that you can filter, categorize the data as well. Friend, the benefits of stakeholder register is that it basically facilitates the handling of multiple projects simultaneously, because you get to know about the stakeholders. The communication is also simple, because you have the knowledge about the stakeholders. It provides a single source for each piece of information. It basically a very important tool for project management, because if you can identify the stakeholder, you can implement the project as well. And also it provides insights about the authority level, their interest, their impact, their influence, their expectations, their requirements, etc. So much information you can get from from the stakeholder register. And basically stakeholder register is nothing, is just a file to inform you about the stakeholders. And if you can identify your stakeholder, let me tell you one thing, that you can successfully complete your project as well. Next is the basically categories here. What are the categories which you have to include in this stakeholder register? First one is the identification. Identification means the name of the stakeholder, their role on the project, their contact information like mobile number, the email address, their address, etc. So identification is one category. Then the assessment. Assessment means that, for example, their influence in the project, their interest in the project, their expectations, their requirements, etc. So this is the assessment. Then classification. Classification means that either a stakeholder is positive, either he is negative, either he doesn't want to complete project on time, either he wants to complete on the time, etc. So this is called as classification. Then management strategy. Management strategy means that either you have to monitor it closely, either you have to manage it closely, either you have to just inform them on time, etc. So basically, based on the interest and influence of the stakeholder in the project, you have to make the management strategy as well. Remember one thing, friend, that each and every stakeholder is important, and you have to manage each and every stakeholder. If you can manage the stakeholder, like, so you can manage the completion of a project as well. If you fail to manage the stakeholders, definitely you are going to fail the project as well. Then uses of stakeholder register. Friend, basically we know that a stakeholder register is basically a project management tool for a project manager to manage the project. Basically it provides a way forward for project manager. If the stakeholder register should be made at a very early stage of a project, whenever you are starting a project. So you have to identify the stakeholders, identify their strengths, their role, influence, interest, expectations, requirement, so that you can make your strategy. And also you must have to know that in case of issues are arising, so how will you manage it. So basically a stakeholder register is a way forward project management tool to provide you a way forward to manage the project as well. Our stakeholder classified in the project supports category will be the most assistance in this scenario. See, if you know that stakeholder is basically supportive for you, for example, so it will be helpful for you, because if any issue arise, so you can talk with the supportive stakeholders, that you need some support. For example, you some stakeholders who are not supported for your project, so you know it already that this stakeholder is not supportive for you, or he may or she create a problem for you. So basically a stakeholder register is helpful for you to identify the stakeholders, their strengths and weaknesses, and their interest, influence in the project. And based on the stakeholder register, you can make your way forward strategy, that how you use each stakeholder successfully, manage it successfully to complete the project on time and within budget as well. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video.